Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet. I'm Chris, this is my channel. On this channel I like to drink craft beer, I like to review craft beer, and I don't like to pay a whole lot of money to do it, so the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range, and that's the case with today's beer. I paid $2.29 for a 12-ounce can of Bell's Oarsman Ale, a tart wheat ale. Uh, let's see, here we go. The full description: a refreshingly tart wheat ale with bright citrusy aromas, great for you and your crew. There you have a look at it. If you are unfamiliar with Bell's, they are probably best known for the Two Hearted Ale. They're Two Hearted Ale, and I forget the other one. The Oberon. The Oberon are both IPAs from them that I gave exceptionally high marks, 4.25. The only other beer that I've had from Bell's was a wheat beer. I forget its name. I gave it a 3.0. I was not particularly impressed with this and with it, and I gotta say, I'm not usually a big fan of wheat beers, so I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. This beer is actually less than 2 months old. Has an ABV of 4.0. Typically, wheat beers become in between 4.0 and 5.5. Just a quick note about the IBUs. I did actually find it. You can dig deep and find the IBUs. 10 IBUs on this. Typically, wheat ales come in between 15 and 30. Now, here is what the brewers note about IBUs. I'm going to read it directly as a direct quote. There is a difference between absolute bitterness and perceived bitterness. IBUs are useful for home brewers for the purpose of clone recipes, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So there you have it. They used Cascade hops for this, and this beer apparently was first brewed in their original brewery in Kalamazoo. Let's see if I can find out where the new Comstock. Comstock is where the most recent or the current brewery is. It does say it has a shelf life of 6 months, and that's nice. It's nice to see an actual giving you a shelf life, some idea what to expect. Um, Typically, American wheat ales have more hop character and less yeast character than their German cousins. Surprise, surprise. When in doubt, always assume that the American version is going to have more hop and less yeast. So that's pretty much standard. Quick notes from the review community. 35 of my friends on Untappd have given it a cumulative score of 3.5. 74,000 of us have given it a cumulative score of 3.43. Beer Advocate has had 2,332 rankings, giving it a cumulative score of 3.53, which on their scale is good. So, there you have it. There is the breakdown, gang. So I'm going to crack this can open, and I'm going to be using my Weizen glass. My Weizen glass that I had from Joseph James Brewery, I broke last night. Putting away another glass, ended up hitting it right on top and breaking it. Very heartbreaking, I gotta say. But I still do have a Weizen glass, so I feel better about that. Boy, this is a lot lighter than I was expecting. I mean, much, much lighter. This is a pale straw at best. This is almost a pale yellow. What you're seeing, guys, is I'm going to say 2 shades darker than the actual color. It's much, much paler than that. I'm going to describe that as high carbonation. That head seems to be, well, actually it seems to be dissipating rather quickly. So I don't know that we're going to have too much of a head for very long. I'm going to go ahead and give this a beard wipe, see what I smell. Smell wheat. That's what I really smell. I'm going to stick my schnoz directly in, see what else I can come up with on the bouquet. Okay, now I smell that tartness. I'm not sure what exactly they used for tartness, whether they used a Brett, some kind of special yeast, whether they used a cherry um, component. That's another thing that they usually often use for tartness. But I gotta say, this is not a bouquet that's overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you really, I gotta dig my nose directly in order to take that in, and I gotta say, it smells like farmhouse yeast, some of those breads that create sourness. Um, and I'm gonna describe it as probably being, I gotta describe that as hazy. This is a hazy wheat ale. Never, and it didn't occur to me, I didn't pour this correctly. You're supposed to pour most of this in. Here's what I should have done. I should have poured most of the contents of this can into here, left a little bit, swirled it, and then poured it in. I mispoured my Weizen. I apologize, gang. So I'll try to do better next time. But I've obviously screwed that up, so may as just well get to drinking. Cheers. Not being a big fan of wheat beers, I gotta say this one's pretty good. I do like that tartness. I mean, I like sour ales anyway. I'm gonna describe that as probably a medium-low mouthfeel, not a lot of spikiness to it. No real alcohol burn, of course, at 4.0. You're not expecting one. I gotta say the flavor is very subtle though. I do in fact taste the wheat. That's sure. That's for sure. But what's more pronounced actually is the sour taste. Um, it's very bubbly and effervescent. I mean, it's almost like drinking a Sprite or something like that, like a cherry Sprite that has that little bit of tartness. I'm still not entirely certain the source of the tartness. I don't think it's cherries, but I'm leaning towards that it's the yeast, it's the bread that they're using to make this tart. This is pretty good. Um, I gotta say that there are better lawn mowing beers for $2.29. Actually, there's better beers for $1.99, lawn mowing beers, and that's essentially what this is. It's refreshing. It's got a 4.0, so you can easily drink this. I always refer to it as a lawnmower beer. For there's one thing that it has to have, and that's a very low ABV. I expect because with a lawn mowing beer, what happens, how I consider it a lawn mowing beer is, can you mow the lawn, drink the beer, and as you're drinking the beer, glance over and realize, oh hell, I missed the side yard completely, and still feel safe getting behind a lawnmower and pushing it, and you know, you're not too wasted from the beer that you just drank. So lawn mowing beers have to have low ABVs. Um, this is a pretty good beer. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.75. I think it deserves a 3.5 and then the extra 0.25 for coming in a can. It's not exceptional. I'm not even sure that it would necessarily make a good foundation for a beer cocktail. It's just kind of its own thing. It might actually make a halfway decent shandy if you split it with lemonade and or orange juice. But anyway, it's not bad, and 229 isn't too bad a price to pay, although as I said, I think you can find better lawn mowing beers for $1.99 or sometimes even cheaper. Well guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.